Yeah.
So,
What about the dog?
By the time they get here,
they heard a
we'll
dog,
be ready to go.
So these are clearly. Oh, you did get a dog. You went to the place and got a dog.
You did get a dog. Getting a dog is the thing that happens.
We do need to reconvene.
Yes.
But hello everyone, we are technically officially up and running now. Only a little later than normal, but that is part of the course here, it seems. Hello, hi. Ark is of course going to be running late because they are a wonderful employed person who has to work holiday hours, which means they don't get to control when they get to go home, apparently, because Bezos said they have to work. They work for FedEx, not Amazon. But
the
still,
big B.
The big B told him he had to...
He still said it.
Yeah, he still said it. They do their shipping through FedEx, so kind of checks out. But anyways, yeah, it was quite the day, and I think we should do our recap first to get started. So who wants to do the proper recap?
I can try.
All right.
I can't tell if that's.
It's not.
If Cadence, if that's you want to do it, or you're pointing to someone.
Nope.
Not me.
No, it's just if anybody
I can
wants
do
to
it.
do it. Anybody who wants to do a proper recap versus what we started with while riffing.
Yes. So basically, last session, Viper and Callista went to the Harpy. At least that's what I have written down. This is session 4, right?
Yes.
Cool. It still says episode 3.
Yeah, I know the thing is goofed. I gotta fix it.
No, you're good. But so we went to the Harpy. This is going up my mouth. We went to the Harpy, and we asked him some questions. Viper didn't like them a lot. Basically, we got the information that one of the people that died was Carmela Dominguez. She was the grandmother of the family. She was the ghoul. She was an honored ghoul who was given asylum for handing her, I think it was Sabat brothers, former Lasombra, her brothers over for information. Alive. She was kept alive for information. Sorry, I have to read my own notes, which is hard. Basically, Harpy thinks that it's just like the Sabat across the borders becoming bold, trying to, like, you know, be badass, fight back type thing. That's basically all we found out. We used some social media to try and find the dog, to speak to the dog, because Olivia can speak to dogs. After that, we then used social media. Well, actually, at the same time, we found the sons, the teen son, I think is who it was. We found his social media, and that's where we found the dog, but that's also where we found out that he got a weird friend request from a guy named Dimitri, something like that, Morietti. But the request,
because that can't possibly be a bad guy.
Yeah, but the request was recently removed, so it was like still showing that it needed to be accepted, but it had been accepted before. So whoever it was went in and moved it again. Then Olivia and I can't remember if this was before or after the shelter, because I didn't write down stuff about the shelter because I was not there. However, Olivia and Viper then went back to Olivia's place. Olivia did some further digging and found out that Morietti runs this site that's like this. Basically, it looks like a MySpace page, but it's not. You go further in, and then it's this gory website where you find a bunch of like sculptures that were made out of cadavers. And then we got into this live show, this stream of someone, supposedly the guy that we're looking for, cutting up this dude and making him look like Picasso paintings, putting him on another body, that kind of stuff. Upon further investigation, though, we noticed that the body was moving, like this torn apart flesh that was taken from another human being was attaching to the body of this other guy, and we basically concluded that there was a smithy there. Another slight little thing that we found out, that the kind of for more confirmation that this was the guy that we were looking for, that there was the portrait of the family sitting watching a family movie of their bodies and shit was posted there as well. So that's for the confirmation that that was the person. Then, after Olivia did more research, we found out that it went down I-10 to the Indian reservation, and that is probably like 97% a chance that it is Sabat. Then, Antonio and Lucian went to, or Lucian, is it Lucian or Lucian? Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yes.
The two of them, yes.
With these abs, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
But they basically then went to a shelter and found the dog of the family, and basically put on this. Lucian was an actor, put on this great show of, you know, a missing dog, that type of stuff. Antonio, you know, being his usual self, was just back in the background, folded arms, just like, yes, that's true. And then they basically, I guess, kind of like blackmailed the guy into just giving them the dog. And then the guy was just like, look, I just work here. It's not my fault. Here, have your dog. Better than him being here, kind of thing. The dog
totally
was
pulled a Karen.
Yeah. The dog was scared of Antonio because, you know, kindred. Dogs don't like kindred. But Lucian was had put on Blush of Life, so the dog liked Lucian. And then they exited. And then at the same time, oh wait, forgot to mention, Antonio caused a lot of trouble for Callista, and she got punished by her sire. That's why Callista wasn't there for the second part. And that's the recap.
Alright. Pretty good, guys. Definitely think that's everything.
Okay, I really enjoy your recaps.
These are great recaps.
Thank you.
Alright.
I can do them from now on, now that I'm writing notes and actually know what's going on.
Alrighty. So, that being said, we start the evening because we had already taken care of everybody's rouse checks, so we don't need to cover that. It's a new evening. Callista, unfortunately, is indisposed, having to go entertain, which leaves Antonio, Lucian, and Viper when everybody decides to gather. Do you all still choose to meet at Orpheum, or do you find somewhere else to be to figure out what's going on today?
I mean, I feel like Orpheum's been like the default place to go, so that's where I would end up.
Okay.
Yeah, we could go back to Orpheum. I would say we could go to my place, but Viper doesn't want you guys to come to his place.
We could go to my place, but I don't want you to go to my place.
Yeah. No, that's me trying to be a helpful player, but my my character not wanting it. So.
Yeah. All right. So the three of you arrive at Orpheum relatively at the same time. You picked a time for meeting, and you show up at this club, and it's like every other night. Is busy. The humans enjoy coming here to cut loose, and it's early fall, not quite cold enough to be winter yet. So people like being out and about and enjoying themselves. And I don't know why people are spamming me messages right now. Oh, okay, unimportant. But everybody's out and about and enjoying themselves while the Day of the Dead celebrations are still going on for a little bit longer. You pick your usual booth. It's not occupied, it's permanently held for the coterie. But Callista doesn't join you this evening, at least not right away. So the three of you are seated, and a waitress comes up and asks if you want anything to drink. She's She's human, of course she is. Well, I guess that is still a good distinction. She is not kindred. She's Hispanic, short, dark hair that goes just frames around her face, brownish eyes, dressed fashionably, but kind of that casual wear that you would be allowed to have in a club. But she asks if anybody wants drinks. She's taking orders while going around.
Viper. I think there's a bowl of water for my dog.
And she kind of looks down and she sees the dog and she's like, "Oh, is this your service animal?" We're not technically supposed to ask that, but I wanted to ask because I needed to know if I could pet it or not.
Sure you may.
And so she reaches down and starts petting the dog. And she's like, "Yeah, I'll get the water for you, absolutely."
Thank
you. I will have a beer as well.
Viper held up their hand?
Just has a pass, just kind of like, nah.
Oh, okay. And so she says, 1 water, 1 beer. And so she heads off to go get those, leaving you all alone.
Just for reference, Viper's animal kin is 3, so I think that means that animals just treat me like a friend. Like they're not scared of me.
I do believe so. So far, the dog has only been unnerved around Antonio.
Cool.
I refuse to spend blood on the dog, damn it. It's expensive.
I'm a gangrel, that's my thing.
Yeah.
I needed some. Also, I have snakes.
So, how bad do we need to do this? Because I have my head up my ass, but I don't actually want my head up my ass.
I think it's fun.
Normally, I totally agree. But going up against the Zanichi does not sound like fun.
Oh, and just so we know, Viper would have handed you guys a sheet of paper just with all of the rundown of what we figured out.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, just so it makes sense logically.
Antonio takes it, like looks at it, and then looks at you and says, like, "You need to make like a vampire newspaper or something."
It's not allowed.
The Kindred Chronicles.
Oh, there you go.
I mostly keep track of this for my sire, but don't really want to get attention drawn to myself, so I'd rather not.
No, I get it. It was more of a joke.
Huh. I don't get jokes.
Glad to be in such good company.
Same?
So, what do we want to do? Does anybody have a plan?
Yes.
And it is?
Basically, I was thinking we have to contact someone. I've let me recollect my thoughts. I have come in contact, I have met the Harpy once before. He is personally who even though he is a horrible person, I do not like him at all. We could follow up with him, see if he knows anything about that reservation specifically, but also, is the reservation outside the area of the city?
Yes.
But I don't know how much he would know, mostly because it's not within the city limits, and usually reservations are their own thing. Even in human society, they have their own laws. That or we can follow up with someone else that might know more. Someone on the down low, underground, sketchier person.
So I don't know if we need any more information at this point. I think we really need the brute squad to go in and take care of this. I mean, I can
could
fight.
always use more information.
I mean, eventually we will have to take action against this person.
Yes, I agree. I mean, I think personally, where we come into play, I think the biggest problem is the fact that this guy has a website and is literally streaming to people stuff that would break the Masquerade if you look too closely.
Of course it would.
I think people who watch that sort of stuff don't care about who's doing it, just as long as they can see it.
I mean, it could always be explained away as special effects. We can cover the Masquerade that way, but it is not good to have too much of that put up.
Well, what if someone from your guys was looking? They wouldn't be looking for fun. They would be looking to see if they could find someone, find information about us. And he'd point to Antonio.
What do you mean, my guys?
Second Inquisition.
Oh, I mean, they already know about our existence.
Yes,
so
but we
it
were
doesn't really
able
matter to them. I mean, if they find this fucker, that's one less thing that we have to take care of.
Yeah. I suppose you have a point. However, I do think it would be a good idea to formulate a report and give it to the prince. And see what action we should take after that.
The only question I would have is this something to take before the prince? My understanding is that they are very busy, or more likely think themselves too important for the rest of us. So I don't think he would be very excited to go over this information. I think they probably just want us to take care of it.
To the sheriff, then?
I was thinking maybe we could contact my lovely shadow.
Well, it's all of your shadow.
Oh, really? I thought it was just for me.
No, it's for the entire coterie.
I want my personal shadow.
You have it. Just look outside.
Yeah, just wait until morning and go take a look.
Yeah.
I feel like that's not going to work very well for me.
I mean, actually, it's going to be super effective.
Well, that too.
Why is my shadow disappearing?
Hello.
There's a fresh and clean, adorable boy here.
Hello, fresh and clean, adorable
Give hugs
boy.
and kisses.
Child time.
Okay.
Little boy.
It's just toothpaste.
Tell him, say down with the Zamichi. No.
He's like, nah.
There's too many syllables.
All right. I love you, buddy.
I love you.
I know you can't stay. I'm sorry. Have a good night. The invasion is over.
Okay.
Alright.
Always a welcome sight.
So, I was going to make the same suggestion. Even if you're not sure about reaching out to the prince, you do have an avenue that can get you closer. Your shadow.
That's what I was thinking.
Your shadow is probably the easiest step. Reaching out to the herald is probably an equally likely option, but probably a little harder to convince them. You can also bring this all directly to
Not
the
only
sheriff.
that, if we reach out to the herald, it's more likely to be like a rumor that we can't take care of our shit, or God only knows what else. So I feel like I just, put like a finger up and just give Maxwell a call.
Yeah. The last thing I was gonna say is you could also bring it directly to the sheriff if you wanted to coordinate handling the Masquerade breach yourself. So, but with the dial to Maxwell, the phone rings for just a moment before you hear the sound of the phone answer. And good evening, Antonio. What can I do for you?
Oh, Maxwell, it is always a pleasure. And he says pleasure like...
There's just
we have...
oh, never mind. Go ahead.
We have some information on the current Masquerade breach and the killer of the family. It seems they are in the reservation off of Route what? I don't remember.
Off of the 10.
Interstate.
Off of Route 10. It seems it is a Zamichi, and they are actually broadcasting their torture of these people using their powers.
There's a momentary pause, and he says, "That's very good work. I'm impressed with how quickly you all tracked this down.
It was a group effort.
I will warn you that we are not normally permitted beyond the city limits."
Is this something that we should take up with the sheriff then? Let them take care of it?
You might be able to coordinate with the sheriff if you wish to take part in what happens next. But my reason for warning you is, beyond the city limits, the areas of the reservations, that's no man's land for us kindred. There are other forces.
I assume there are puppies?
Not quite.
Interesting.
Ancient forces belonging to those who once inhabited this land before colonials moved in. They are what have dominion over the areas of the reservations.
Well, then I thank you for being exceptionally vague and not giving me anything helpful as to what we would be dealing with if we leave the city. On the other hand, do you happen to have the sheriff's contact information?
And there's just another pause while he contemplates whether letting you wake up in the middle of the day with your coffin outside crosses his mind.
A suntan would look really good on you.
It's like, how far out into the desert do I need to leave you that if you had to walk back, you wouldn't make it before the sun came up? He says, yes, I can have that information to you.
Appreciate it. Is there anything else you would want from them when we are taking care of things? Maybe like their computers, or if we can find any files, pictures, that kind of thing?
No. If you choose to act with the sheriff and his hounds, when the time comes, cleanup is a smash job. No evidence. Burn everything.
Okay. Works for me. I will let the coterie know.
Is that all?
So he'll... Oh, he would have, like, hung up.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, I'll let the coterie know, and he would have, like, hung up. So he turns to everyone and just basically describes the full conversation, not just his end. And says, so we can theoretically go if we contact the sheriff. I don't know which would be more beneficial for the coterie. We might want to go just as far as getting our reputation out there, possibly getting some status. But I don't know if you are all up for that. We could just theoretically give the information to the sheriff and leave it as is, I suppose.
Where's the fun in that?
I mean, again, I agree, but...
The option would be sheriff. But we could go. I don't really care. Also, Antonio.
Yes.
In the future, that should be discussed in a meeting face to face. Just in case.
I mean, so here's my thing. I don't understand this whole Masquerade thing over the... Like, the people who could hack the information have already hacked the information and know of our existence. Why are we all so freaked out? I'm more concerned about them hacking my phone and finding my location.
It's just the way things work around here.
He rolls his eyes and he's like, yes, I will be a good baby vampire and follow all the orders.
Good. And give him a little pat.
Just a little pat.
So the plan is to go to the sheriff once we find out the information?
Yep, that was my plan, so I guess we will head off.
Where are you heading?
To the location that we got from Maxwell.
Maxwell has not.
Unless he...
Maxwell has not sent you anything yet. He said he will get the information to you.
Oh, well then we will just hang out, and if he doesn't get the information from me, if anybody comes to me and complains, I could always be like, wasn't my fault, it was my boss, he's a jerk, what do you want me to say?
Yeah. No, and I think this is one of those wonderful moments where Antonio is waiting for like a text or an email, and he forgets that his shadow is a Lasombra. And so after like an hour, somebody enters the club, and who enters is there's three kindred enter, and you can recognize them immediately. Even especially Viper notices that 3 gangrel have entered.
Hey!
Their appearance looks a bit disheveled. The lead one is a large male, thick, like Sabretooth from X-Men, sideburns, the like wild slicked back sandy brown hair, and he's flanked by African American female with tight cornrolled braids, and then a Hispanic male, and the 3 of them walk up, and the larger one approaches your booth and just grunts and says, "You reached out for us." He extends a large, calloused hand towards Antonio. Lionel
would definitely take it and shake his hand. He says, "Of course, please sit. We have much to discuss."
Can I tell what type of animal they tend to like more? In terms of gangrelness?
Yeah, make a wits awareness.
Oh, okay, I'll pop back up. Any modifiers, because I am a gangrel?
I'll give you a bonus. Plus 2 bonus.
Not a crit.
Not a crit, but still good. Still really good.
Yes.
It's good.
So Lionel looks to be some kind of indistinguishable big cat predator type.
Ow.
The female has a almost identical snake-like appearance to yours, most distinguishingly in the eyes, and the Hispanic male has a more canine features to him.
Okay. Then I won't say it. I was gonna say if they were all dogs, he'd be like, sit boy, but he's not going to.
Was this Inuyasha?
Yeah, but at the offer to sit, he just kind of makes a grunt and says he'll stand. And he says, "You all wanted to talk."
Would I recognize any of these as the sheriff?
Lionel Court is the sheriff.
Okay.
And the other two would be referred to as hounds.
Okay.
Let the dogs out.
It's not
Viper would slide over.
It's not a term that the gangrel like having, but it is the appropriate term for basically the sheriff's deputies.
Mm-hmm.
Viper would slide over his notes.
He kind of looks down at it and he's like, what the hell is this?
There's homework?
Mm-hmm. Does he say what the hell is this?
Yep.
Viper would go. Information.
It's a good thing you didn't try to show him like an iPad.
Right?
I feel like he's trying not to let on that he's illiterate.
Well, you're not here, so stop trying to. No, he looks down at the notepad and he just grunts again. He says, "I didn't come here to read."
Oh my god, that's like a Michael's customer. Sorry. You'll be like, oh, the sign over there. Like, if you look at the signs, it'll like, oh, over there it says fine arts. That's where you'll find all your canvases. They'll be like, I didn't come to Michael's to read. What the? How are you gonna find anything? How are you gonna know what brand?
Reading? What is this reading you speak of?
Listen. I can tell you at TSA, they will stand in front of the sign that tells them exactly what they need to do, and they'll go, "Oh, I didn't know that I needed to do that." And it's like, you're in front of the sign that's telling you. But yeah, he reaches down with the large, oversized hand and he grabs it, and it's not a deliberate, let me smash this paper, but when he grabs it, it crumples up under his, like, rough, not dexterous hands, and he holds it up, and he looks at it, and he reads it over, and he says, "So you found a Masquerade breach."
It's our job, yes?
Good. You have a location?
He point to a part of the paper.
Yeah, he's like, word of advice, stick to bullet points. And he just kind of hands the paper back to you.
I feel like he'd flip to he'd flip to another page that were his original notes, just in the moment, and they're bullet points, but they literally make no sense. He'd be like this.
Mm-hmm.
What are you, Malkavian?
He just shrugs it off and he says, "All right." Oh, did I not set this music on repeat? He says, "All right. You can leave it to us or tag along. That is your job as the VtM after all. Root out Masquerade breaches." It's a courtesy to invite you if you want to come.
When?
As soon as possible. You can't let these things continue.
Even if it's outside the city limits?
He snorts. Would you prefer time to prepare?
I would prefer it, yes, but...
Fine.
It's probably not the way you work.
We'll move in a week.
I am fine either way, personally.
We'll move in a week. That will give you time to get what you need.
Thank you.
I'm assuming you'll want to meet back here.
Unless you have another location.
I don't.
Then yes.
Good. I recommend finding armor-piercing rounds. Where we're going, creatures are a bit harder to take down. Small arms fire.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
No, you want to stay on the roads.
Is there anything else we should know going into this? Anything else we should grab? Focus on training-wise?
I'd be lying if I said one of you may die. It's very likely all of you will die.
Probably not me. I'm pretty good at this.
But we already are.
I appreciate your genuine concern.
And he just kind of looks to the paper again, snatches it back, takes out a cheap ballpoint, and he writes down something on the back of the paper and slides it back. You'll want to do your research before you follow us in there.
I do best.
Yep. And when you take the paper back up and you hold it up in your hands, you see that he wrote in a very messy script one word, and it just says skinwalkers.
Fun.
This is gonna be fun.
Do I know? Because I was reading the lore sheets, and there's I think Camerilla, I think her name is something like that. She has libraries around. Who I was gonna originally have be like a library keeper. You know how like my last character that I was possibly gonna do for this. Mm-hmm. Would I know of any of like those libraries around here?
Do you have that lore sheet?
I do not.
Then no. Actually, okay. That's not true. That's a lie. We can have you roll and see if you actually know.
Yeah, I didn't know if it would be like common knowledge just of where the libraries are. I just wouldn't have one myself.
I can genuinely give you a chance to know based on a roll.
Okay.
I won't tell you how hard that difficulty is, but...
So I would actually like to roll 2, knowing that I used to kill a bunch of supernatural stuff. I feel like whenever a supernatural thing pops up, there's always a possibility.
You would also have a very good chance with the Chantry's access, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, that is also a viable avenue, is you could fall back on the Chantry.
So can I use a cult, or is it only academics?
Actually, I like the use of occult.
Okay.
So for you, Antonio, I want... can you combine 2 of the skills? I know you can combine 2 of the traits.
No. It does not let you combine 2 skills.
Okay. Then...
I mean, I can just do it in the system and just say...
No. I'll take an intelligence occult from you.
Okay.
Viper, if you could please give me a...
Oh, God.
Oh, okay.
So, by the way, we have new willpower now, right?
Yes.
So I'm going to check one off and do a willpower reroll. Because that was
terrible.
Oh, wait.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
You can burn as many as you have willpower. So.
No, I'm good. We're going into combat. I don't want to burn too many, but damn.
You have a week. Yeah, you have a week.
Yeah, we have a week.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah, this would be the time to do your research and get ready.
There you go.
Hey.
So that would be 4 successes then. For you, Viper, let me have an intelligence academics.
Okay. No modifiers?
No, you didn't have anything that would help. Actually, that's not true. Your research. You can roll an extra die. Because that would count as a specialty.
Yes, that is my specialty.
Hey! Well, there you go.
I am going to re-roll 2.
Yeah, sure. Re-roll the 2.
I just need 2. Oh, I'm doing it again. So this is kind of what I like to do. There we go.
All right. Well, okay. So that brings you to 5 and Antonio to 4. Antonio, you know that you, very much like I said, you could fall back on the Chantry for this. There would also be probably the same name of a person that Viper knows. There would be it wouldn't be a Kindred run library, but it would be like a neutral hunter library, and they have worked out an agreement with the Camerilla that they are not allowed to hunt kindred, but they could hunt anything that gets too dangerous in the city that might be other things. And out here in the Midwest, or the Southwest, excuse me, there are plenty of things that can still be hunted that doesn't involve dealing with kindred.
Name?
Yes, there is in fact a name. The namiest of names that will ever have been named. And because you put me on the spot of making this up, we are going to randomly generate a name.
I actually know stuff now about the lore, kind of.
Ooh, I got a couple of good ones here.
So I look at the rest of the group and I say, you're going to want to bring some silver.
All right, I got a couple of good options here. There is a Hugo Becker. There is an Angelo Patton, or Patty Quinn.
I like Hugo. Hugo's a really cool name.
Yeah, Hugo is pretty rad. All right, the hunter who owns this library is named Hugo Quinn.
I dig it.
With two N's?
Sorry, Hugo Becker. The Quinn was Patty Quinn. That was the one I was also partial to.
Well, Quinn could be Hugo's middle name.
Yeah, Hugo Quinn Becker. I love it.
But only people call him by his whole name. If you say Hugo, you get shot.
Yeah, Hugo Q Becker. Now it's Pecker.
HQ.
Huge Q.
God damn it! I just saw that. Huge Q Pecker.
That's his name.
Yeah. Hugo Q.
I love it.
Yeah, huge Q Pecker is his stage name.
Also, hi Ark.
Hi Ark.
Welcome.
Good timing.
Hello.
Came in just in time for Huge Pecker.
I came straight from work.
Well, hello.
And all our pictures went wonky on the stream.
Ah, damn it! They were
Of
almost
course they did.
perfect. They were almost perfect. They shuffled around.
Oh, I'm Lucian.
I don't even know who's hiding under arcs. Nobody.
I don't know.
All right, let me fix these. Gotta shrink this down. They have figured out basically nothing. No, they figured out a ton of stuff in the time that we were waiting for you.
Good.
Yep.
That's what I pay them for.
That is what you pay them for. You, the Nosferatu.
Yep.
Shift me up. Oh, look, Shay's
Is there
in two
a name
spots.
of the library?
Sorry?
Is there a name of the library?
Yes, it is called the library. No.
Okay. I mean, that'd be fine.
I don't know why they were facing opposite directions.
Library de la Hugo.
Yeah.
Yay! Ark, subscribe.
I would hope so. I mean, no, I'm not subscribed. I need to, though. I get paid on Friday. But actually, I have a bunch of Christmas presents that I gotta get.
I have all of my Christmas shopping done for immediate family. Unfortunately, I can't splurge like I did last year for everybody.
Same though.
Oh.
See, my immediate
sorry, Ark,
family...
you're not getting anything this year.
My immediate family doesn't do that shit. So, like, I get stuff from my cousin, because me and my cousin get each other things, but, like, my brothers and my parents, like, my dad gets mad at me if I buy him stuff, because he's like, no, you're supposed to save your money. And
That's
my mom,
so weird.
I got her one little thing, but she's usually like, you don't have to, Casey. And then my brothers just don't even think about it. So,
our immediate family are the only ones we buy gifts for still.
See, I have the advantage of having a child, so for like mom and dad, it's nice and easy to be like, here's a craft thing from my son, you know?
Yeah.
That makes their gift nice and easy, but the problems are, like, I have 9 nephews.
Ah.
Yeah.
So, that makes things pretty tough.
I have, I think I have 12 cousins, so including me, 13. So we always do Pollyanna.
Yeah, we do a white elephant because white elephant's actually a lot of fun.
That's what we did for a while too. When everybody was in Arizona and it was big, they were like white elephant and then one gift for everybody that didn't exceed like a certain amount, and so it made it more manageable. And like my nephews and my soon-to-be niece will be the only people that I get any real presents for because they're young. And
we spend all the money on the kids. Same thing.
Yeah, and personally, my philosophy for like anybody else, like aunts and uncles and stuff, I don't ever get anything from them really.
Same.
Anyways. So it's like, I don't worry about my cousins because they've never sent me anything or reach out to me for anything. So it's like, you're still my cousin, I still love you, but I don't ever hear from you and I never get anything. So that's just kind of how I treat our relationship. It's like, I'll see you on a reunion.
Yeah.
You know.
Me and my cousin, just my one cousin. So I have 2 brothers and she has a brother. And so we're basically like sisters. Like we're really, really, really close. So we always get each other things. And like after our grandfather died, like our whole entire family like dropped all of our traditions. And so me and my cousin were like, why? They're fun. Like we don't do Pollyanna anymore. But so me and my cousin were like, nope, we're gonna keep up traditions. So we like give each other gifts. We're like, oh, you're my Pollyanna. I'm your Pollyanna. Oh, I didn't know.
All right.
But then,
by the way, Rin, I did subscribe, so I expect a Christmas gift this year.
I saw that.
Merry Christmas.
Much appreciated.
I mean,
I see that you gained gift wrap toilet paper emotes.
I did.
So
I did.
It's the top tier.
The chat was very excited.
So, I think this is about the time that Olivia D. Cloak of Shadows and is like, I've been here the whole time because I have no other way to segue you in. Because they really haven't done anything. Or they haven't gone anywhere, I guess is the better thing. They showed up at Orpheum and basically started talking about what they were going to be doing going forward. Currently, they are talking to the sheriff, a large man who has very wild sideburns and a thick blonde mane of hair. He was identified to resemble sort of a big jungle cat, and his 2 hounds showed up. They passed along the information of the Masquerade breach to him, and he said, you're welcome to tag along while we deal with the problem, because it's your right as the Vehemi, or Vemine, whatever. I don't know what it's actually pronounced. I think it's Vahim, as the V, as the flying V. Vehemi.
Speaking of which, Mighty Ducks remake coming. Yeah.
Is it really? God.
There's a series coming out. Yes.
Okay. As the Vemi, it is your right to partake, since you uncovered the Masquerade breach. But he told you you'll act in a week so that you have time to prepare, because going outside of the city limits, most kindred are not allowed outside of the city in Phoenix, because all of the surrounding area belong to natives and the native forces. And so they do not welcome kindred. And he basically said, you're going to want to bring heavy firepower or armor piercing, because the things that watch over this land do not take kindly to kindred. and he left a written message of what Vipers should be researching, because they asked what should we be looking into if we're going out there, and there was one word written on it, and it said skinwalkers.
Was it skin-walkers or skinwalkers?
No, skinwalkers.
Single word, skinwalkers.
Okay.
And he
So-
thinks we're gonna die.
And he,
Well, I mean,
Oh, yeah,
honestly,
he
skinwalkers are pretty badass. So.
he says you'll be lucky if only one of you die.
So if we are still together, I would definitely let everybody know. You would want to bring silver. It will not immediately kill them, but they are allergic to it. It will make their flesh burn. Really, the only way to destroy them is to cut out their heart or cut off their head. They can transform into other people at will, so we will need to come up with some kind of code word in order to make sure that we are actually us. Or the silver works as well.
I'll probably be a snake most of the time.
I mean, I assume they could transform into a snake as well. They are just shapeshifters.
Okay. Hello, Olivia.
Also, we have to deal with the Zamichi, so that's a whole other problem.
If the Sunichi is a skinwalker.
Ooh, that would be really
I think
bad.
that's how it works.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna start doing this research as fast as I can.
We have to wait a week.
In order to gather enough information, yes, that is a good time frame. Antonio, what did you say again? They're allergic to silver.
They are allergic to silver. The only real way to kill them is to chop off their head or cut off their heart. They can turn into others. I'm not sure if they can turn into a non-humanoid shape, like a snake, but I assume they can just transform into anything. It's not like werewolves where they get a huge boost from turning into a full werewolf, but they are stronger and faster than humans generally. They are very dangerous.
Yep. Any other?
Well, maybe I could borrow some silver rings from someone.
I mean, if you want, I can give you ammunition, or what do you use to fight?
Olivia's just gonna crack her knuckles.
I mean, are you able to claw them?
Yes.
Okay, then that will be helpful.
You can always melt.
Other than supernatural means or silver, it doesn't really do much damage, honestly. So if you were going to punch them, we were going to run into a problem.
Well, that's why I suggested silver rings.
True. But as we know, punching is not as good as slashing, which is not as good as supernatural means.
What if it's supernatural slashing?
What if it's supernatural punching?
So, supernatural slashing would be greater than regular punching or regular slashing, and then supernatural slashing would be greater than regular or supernatural punching, and so on. Would you like me to draw you a Venn diagram?
Yeah.
That'd be helpful, actually.
You just tell it to me.
Is Callista here yet?
No. Callista.
I'm looking around. I like Antonio looks around. He's like, "We have to find Callista. I need the whiteboard."
Just draw on the wall. I'm sure she won't mind.
Just get out some spray paint, you know.
Let him in your club. This is your fault.
You offered your home.
I did not.
Your home was offered.
She's like, that's not how any of this went down.
Your home was offered, so we're taking advantage.
I was like, oh wait, that's true. It's not actually your club.
This is just for like I'm trying to read the power right now, but this is for mechanics. Feral weapons and shape change aren't considered like.
They would not be strong enough to breach the supernatural defenses.
Cool.
If anyone needs assistance with weapons, I can help.
I would need to learn how to use them.
I mean, I can help with that too. It won't help immediately, but I can teach you.
I don't know what a weak will do, but we can try.
Yeah.
I can do a little bit of a sword stuff.
How about flamethrowers?
I mean, fire works great. The only problem with fire is, especially with flamethrowers, it's sticky and it could get on us, and that would be a real problem.
Yeah.
Also, just using fire.
General courage stats, but I don't know how to explain that in character, so I wasn't going to say that.
Well, actually, your response is appropriate because Antonio probably hasn't experienced fire.
That's true as a vampire.
Like,
yep.
Yeah, your real world knowledge is totally legit.
So are these guys like zombies or something?
They're not zombies. They are more. Their lore is very tied up in Native American lore. They are stronger, faster, have heightened senses. Generally, they are attributed to the Native American gods, I believe. And I know they can shapeshift, but again, I don't know what the exact capabilities are. I'm 90% sure that they can't just like shapeshift into a werewolf and then shapeshift into something other shifter and get those kind of powers, but they can transform to fully.
Okay.
So Rin, I am actually going to go with depleted uranium rounds coated in silver. I feel like that'll probably be my best bet.
All right. How did Antonio come by depleted uranium rounds?
So I would have gotten them from the military. I got my military contacts, yo. I would break in and steal them if I need to.
I think that's something that Antonio wouldn't have on hand now, but we could certainly acquire them if you're fine with doing a little bit since we got some time. Just because I think that'll make more of a fun story of how does Antonio get depleted uranium rounds. But it shouldn't be too hard.
Where can I buy depleted uranium?
Well, I mean, if you want to break in and steal it, that's fine too. There are plenty of military bases in Arizona.
Area 51.
So depleted uranium confers
May not want to look that up online, but
to be honest with you, as an ST, with all the crazy shit that I've looked up over the years, I have to be on every watch list known to man at this point.
Yeah.
You do know you could probably
you can get it on eBay. I want to eBay it.
Oh my god, seriously?
You can buy depleted uranium?
You can indeed.
Alright, so depleted uranium.
God, what is this?
Also, there's 7 military bases in Arizona.
Yep.
There you go.
Oh my god.
I just looked it up.
Also, like, it is also pretty metal that our tanks fire depleted uranium rounds, and
right? The bullets are ridiculous because the thing is, they're so dense that like they just pierce everything. It's like insane.
I mean, yeah, bullets are made of metal. That's how metal they are.
It is very true. Very true.
I had to. I'm not sorry.
Alright, so how much do these cost? This one has a cost. Pentagon may scrap
Did the
35
sheriff
million
leave?
depleted uranium rounds. I will say yes, because you guys had, like, continued a conversation without talking to him, so...
Okay.
Alright, I'm not actually finding anything that tells me... Are depleted uranium rounds legal? Source material under Title 10 CFR.
So I don't know if the rounds are legal. You can definitely get the metal legally, but I don't know if it's legal to make them into bullets. So I can definitely make them into bullets myself if we need to.
Yeah, I was like, you're not worried about that, and you have gunsmithing, so I think with your resource, resources, we can do a check. So that the only thing now is it'll take time, so it'll become, you know, over that week you can acquire them, and then I'll have you make a craft roll.
Okay.
I saw that dot.
Yeah, so the dot is, I was actually going to let you know that I'm going to spend some XP.
Okay.
Because it's going to be super cheap anyway.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to need to use it, I might as well throw the dot in there.
Yep. Alright, cool. So you have the craft specialty with the dot now. Alright, so that should be fine. I'll have you roll that in a minute. Does anybody else want to do any shopping stuff before I jump over to Callista? Or
I want to do research,
I don't got any money.
Like that's not shopping.
Yeah, it's like, does Olivia want to ask any questions to catch up or anything like that before?
Again, I will give you money to shop too. Like, I've offered to supply the team. That's
he has
like
so
not
much
a problem.
Nazi gold. You have no idea.
It's ridiculous. I literally have the Ark of the Covenant. It belongs in a museum.
Cool.
Well, if
I need silver-coated arrows, I need the bullets. I mean,
that's all easy enough. Like, I will supply all that. That's fine. You're not getting my cool depleted uranium rounds, but you can easily get some regular silver bullets. That's easy enough.
Well, then I'll take some.
I'll even make you hollow
rings.
points that are armor piercing.
I'll take some silver rings for the fingers, and I'll also take a silver dagger.
Okay. I mean, silver dagger, like, he literally just pulls out, like, a silver knife and hands it to you because he has that on him. I carry around, like, 5 silver daggers at any given time.
I'll take one too.
Alright, I'll give you one as well.
You're just giving it out? I'll take some.
Yeah,
some guy back in the corner.
I mean, yeah,
I'll
more.
take one.
You get a dagger, and you get a
dagger. You get a dagger.
I have all these weapons.
I mean, I'll take more.
Alright. So, we'll put a pin in you guys, and we're going to transition the camera over to where Callista is hiding. Yeah. Alright. So, Callista, when you woke up, in quotes, tonight, you knew that you had to go take care of some business. And since it's been a while, why don't you remind us what Callista needs to be doing?
I need to entertain a business partner of my sire. I don't think I was ever given their name because she said that they'll find me and I'll know who they are. But my job is to make sure that they're happy before they continue their business.
Yeah. Alright. So, when you wake up, you go through your routine of knowing that you have to entertain somebody and get dolled up, and it's probably an hour or two into your being up and getting ready that the door to your penthouse is knocked on.
Just a minute, and I will approach the door and open it.
And you end up seeing there is a woman standing there in a business suit, pumped heels, black attire, glasses, hair done in a bun, And she looks like a secretary, but she's holding a data pad in her hand, and she says, are you the one?
Yes, ma'am.
Very well. Come with me.
I follow.
And you make your way down, and you have... Your penthouse is connected to the club, yes? And so you come down, and there's probably the briefest of moments where you walk through the club and you see the private booth where your coterie will normally meet. You see that they're all there, seated, having a discussion with a very large man, a woman, and another smaller man. Their identities aren't clearly apparent to you, but they have that same kind of feral resemblance that Viper tries to hide. So you might be able to guess that they could be Gangrel as well, but it looks like they're having a discussion and not the kind that's going to result in damage to your bar.
Okay.
But you're quickly ushered out of the club by this woman, and as she's walking, she says, "You're going to be entertaining my I'm trying to think of the proper word. You're going to be entertaining...
Regent?
Not regent, no. It would be what she would refer to her boss without saying boss.
Supervisor.
No.
Employer?
I think I'm going to go with employer because I can't think of what the actual word I'm trying to use is. You're going to be entertaining my employer tonight. You are expected to be on your best behavior, and you are expected to be, well, just be you. And as you step out, you see that there is a limo waiting, and she walks and she opens the door and she says, "Get in."
I do so obediently.
I feel like Antonio should be there.
Antonio just disappears from the conversation.
Internal screaming.
He's just up against the window. What's going on in there?
Hey, what you doing?
And so she opens the door and she tells you to get in, and you climb inside. How is Callista dressed, and what does she look like while she's when she slides inside?
Probably a little less goth than usual. Probably wearing a nice dress that her sire probably picked out. Still has the like one of those skirts where it's like higher on one side, but it like drapes down to the ankles on the other, and then matching boots and the back is like a design mesh.
When you enter the limousine, you see that there is already an occupant inside. The secretary opens another door and she climbs inside, and the limousine is spacious enough where it has like the row of seats that would be the back, and then there's a row of seats on one side, a bar across from it, and then another row of seats facing the opposite way. And she gets into the vehicle and sits down on the row that would be opposite of where you entered and where you would be seated next to the person you're supposed to be entertaining. Your sire purposely did not tell you anything about who you would be entertaining tonight. And so, to your surprise, when you enter, you see a young man who's probably no older than 13, and he's busy playing on a Nintendo Switch. He's dark-haired, Caucasian, dressed rather nicely, but he's just busy playing on this entertainment device. And when the door closes, the limousine starts to take off, and the secretary says, "This is Pierre Birchfield. You're going to be his..." And I'm pausing, not her. You're going to be his guardian for the evening.
Of course.
This is very important. I want you to understand that nothing can happen to young Pierre while you two are out.
I will do my best, or I will. I would die before anything bad comes of them.
I would certainly hope so. Pierre, and he kind of pauses his game and looks up. This is Callista. She's going to be taking you to the movies and to the arcade afterwards. Doesn't that sound fun? And he just kind of shrugs.
And what's their name?
Pierre Birchfield.
Pierre Birchfield.
PB Field.
We call them peanut butter for sure.
Yeah, you can call it peanut butter.
Alright. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And he's just like, yeah, whatever.
I'll probably like sit next to him and watch.
Yep.
What are you playing?
And he says, this is the new this is the new game. It's called Oath of Honor. It's pretty cool,
Well, can you teach me about it?
I guess. And it's the generic looter shooter, battle royale, MMO, card building. I'm just yeah, I'm just throwing all this stuff in there. But as you're like, can you show me how? And he's like, yeah, sure. Your phone buzzes and there's a text waiting for you.
I will check.
You see it's a message from your sire. And it says, have fun, don't disappoint me, and do not have that Tremere bother me ever again.
Yes, ma'am.
The call out.
But you get the feeling that this isn't your normal job.
Mm-hmm.
This is very much a punishment.
Yeah.
You're on babysitting
Absolutely.
detail.
Which, by the way, you're doing all wrong. Kid's 13. You should have been like, hey, have you ever seen boobs?
Listen, the night is still young.
You have to start with their interests first.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, boobs are a 13-year-old's interest, believe me.
Not why they're looking down.
So to not really maximize the awkwardness of you having to go on a date with a 13-year-old, we will just say, why don't you give me a charisma or manipulation, whichever you would prefer, and a performance to keep this child entertained for the rest of the evening.
Awesome.
And then I'll let you decide how the evening goes based on that roll.
Okay. I need to count my... Okay. Since I drank from my... Or have I drank VtM? I still have VtM in me, so...
You haven't spent your powers, so yes.
Yes. Am I able to use my alchemy to mimic all? To give me a dice bonus?
What does your alchemy let you do?
Actually, at one dot, I don't think I can mimic level 1 powers. Yet.
Then I would say no.
I have to find it. I'll check, but I'll just roll normally for now. I'm just going to look power. Hey, critical.
I mean, you already had a critical, but...
I did.
So that would be 7 successes.
5, 6, 7, yes.
Alright, so you have 7 successes. This would definitely be deemed a fun night for this kid, even once you've hit him with awe.
Yeah. That's without all.
Oh, that's without awe.
That is without all. So yeah, I probably I take him like everywhere he wants to go. This is gonna be a vacation for him. I make sure to pay close attention to what he wants to do. If he wants to go to the movies, at the movies. If he wants to go to the arcade, it's the arcade. It's the night's just all about him.
Does he get to see boobs at the end of the night?
He does get to see boobs.
There you go. Okay. Reese is happy.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I'm not happy. We made the kid happy. That's all I'm saying.
Made the kid happy. That's fine. Okay. So when the evening comes to an end, there's another message that arrives on your phone, Callista. And it says, "It's time. Tell the driver to head home."
I think our evening's at an end here.
And he just kind of looks up from his game and he's like, "That sucks."
Yeah. Well, maybe we can hang out again sometime.
Maybe. That could be fun.
And then I'll just knock on the driver's window and say, "It's time to return."
And you roll down, or the little window rolls down enough for you to communicate to him, and the driver says, "All right." And you start driving, and when you watch the highway, because the road markers in Phoenix are actually really nice compared to other places, a lot of the off-ramps indicate where stuff is going, clearly marked, and where things that you've passed, and you can see a lot of the landmarks because a lot of the area is flat. And so you notice eventually that the road that you've been taking is not taking you back to Orpheum. You're going deeper into Scottsdale and Paradise Valley. You're actually heading towards your sire's residence.
Oh. Okay.
And another half hour passes before you enter a gated community, and the limo pulls down and then into another gated off estate, and it leads down into this driveway, and you see that there are 2 more very nice luxury vehicles parked there, and the driver quickly opens the door for the 2 of you, and he says, "Please take Pierre inside."
I'll extend a hand to escort him in.
And he nods, still quite captivated with you, and he puts the game down, leaving it in the back of the vehicle, and follows you inside. And so you end up taking him inside to this estate. It's a luxurious manor, and walking him inside, you head to a parlor, and the parlor is elaborately decorated. Your sire only has the finest of things and artwork and statues. You enter this parlor. There is a very luxurious antique imported couch that she's sitting on, and across from her in an armchair is another individual, a bald, heavy-set looking man dressed in a fine suit. And then opposite of him in another armchair is a woman you recognize as your sire's business partner, a Russo-Japanese woman dressed in an exotic fur shawl that drapes over a black and gold dress. Misaki Petrova. Boom. There she is. And she's smoking one of those long, elongated cigarettes on a stem. And she says, "Well, Here's the child. Absolutely fabulous. And your sire stands and she says, Callista, so wonderful of you to bring him to us tonight. I trust he had a good evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Would you say he had a happy evening?
I like to think so.
That he was filled with joy, and his memories will reflect as much his vitae?
Blood starts to drain. Yes, ma'am.
I'm like 99.9% sure.
Jesus.
Yeah, I sent my prediction in the chat.
And she says, excellent. I'm so happy that you brought him. And that you did exactly what I asked of you. You may go. Say goodbye to Pierre.
I need to insight check this. And I would like to know particularly if the kid is going to survive.
So you got 3 successes. Would you like to spend a willpower to reroll 1?
I think I'm okay with 3.
I think you're okay with 3. Okay. You've known your sire long enough. The child may not die tonight. It's probably more likely that he might be used for alchemy. You just started cooking some good positive vibes for some alchemy for them.
Yeah.
It is exactly what they do in their line of work. And you just got a prime candidate ready for the process to begin the alchemy. And when she says, say goodbye to Pierre, the other woman looks to him and their eyes meet and she says, come to me, Pierre. And he basically goes rigid and just does the I'm in a trance walk towards...
Zombie walks,
yeah. Yeah, he just walks towards her and stands at her side.
I probably like start bowing to my sire and like reach out like to accept her hand if she allows me to take it. Like I'm gonna kiss it.
And she offers it.
And I'll kiss her hand and just kind of like murmur. If it is amenable to you, would you not allow any lasting harm? And it's like a very, and I just like keep a very submissive pose.
And Misaki laughs and she says, you really should train them better. She's asking you of things?
Just requesting. I am your servant in every way.
And she gives a long exhale of the smoke and she says, well then, you should be asking me, not her. This child doesn't belong to her. And she reaches out one of those like purposely jeweled claw thingies on the finger and she just brushes it along his forehead and through his hair. He's my plaything. until the alchemy is done. I'll decide what happens to young Pierre.
I'll look to my sire, like if I'm allowed to speak to her. Because my focus is usually focused on her.
Make another wits insight roll, please.
Yes. Wits insight. Also 3.
Also 3.
No, 4. 5. 5.
5,
That's
yeah.
critical.
You see that your sire is holding back a bit of anger that this conversation is still happening. It looks like you might be embarrassing her in front of her business partner.
Okay. I don't push my luck then. I'm sorry. That is out of place for me.
Well, it seems she does know her place. And Misaki waves a dismissive hand and she says, "It's fine. Sometimes you just need to be reminded that you're the help." And she turns to your sire and she says, "Chandra, we have more business to discuss. Don't you think it's time you've told her to go?" And your sire turns, looks at you, and she says, "Despite your faux pas, you did well today.
Thank you.
Go back to the club, and I'll call you if I need you."
Yes, ma'am. I turn and leave with my head down and tail between my legs.
And you walk back out, leaving the estate, and you see that the limo is still there. The driver opens the door, and he says, "I was instructed to take you back to Orpheum, ma'am."
Yes, please.
And you get back in the car, and it drives, and from where you were to Orpheum, it's not far, 20-minute drive or so. But he takes you and he leaves you in front of the club, and it's probably about this time that your coterie is filing out, discussing their plans under soft whispers. But it's also probably where... Oh, you know what? I gotta do something here. The secretary is still in the car, or at least is in the vehicle now. And she's seated across from you, and she puts down the data pad, and she looks over to you and she says, "So, on a scale of 1 to 10, about how awkward would you say that this had gone for you?"
Started out of 4, and the last bit was definitely 10.
Well, at least you didn't try to fuck the child. That would have been embarrassing.
No, yes. Oops.
You okay?
That's fine.
And she pushes up her glasses and sets down the data pad and says, "Wow. All things considered, I should let you know that working for Miss Petrova is no cakewalk either. I've had to deal with her bullshit for quite a while," and she giggles at that.
Does she appear to be, like, is she breathing? Does she appear to be full-blooded?
She is breathing and laughing.
Okay. Yeah, I would, I find myself nervous around our employers.
You don't have to say employer. We both know what they are, and I know what you are.
Do you know if the child will survive?
Her expression darkens a bit. Is that really something you want to be thinking about?
It's something I'd rather not think about.
Haven't you been working for them long enough to understand what's going to happen?
Yes.
So you understand that usually human incubators do not last long. He might be fine for a while, but whatever they're going to put inside of him is going to change him. And he's not going to be the same after.
How long have you been working for Miss Petrova?
Ooh, well, she kind of does the math in her head. I have been working for her for, let's say, about going on 50 years now. And she brushes up her glasses again with her finger, and she doesn't look any older than 25, 26.
Does she appear to have a brand similar to my own?
No.
Okay. I would guess then. It's about 100 times my experience in this new world.
It doesn't get easier, and your kind are a new anomaly to us. We're still adapting, but we've found it interesting and lucrative. Tend to not enjoy thinking about the ramifications of our business, though, but monsters tend to not have a conscience, a luxury that you have that I don't get.
I think having a foot only halfway in has left me with a few emotional ties. Not something one like me should have. Hence why I wish I wouldn't think of the ramifications.
You may want to consider shelving that soon. It's a sign of weakness.
Yeah. I guess it is. You were around for a while. Has my sire always worked with Petrova for the 50 years you have?
One more time.
Has my sire worked with Miss Petrova for the 50 years you have?
Not the entire time, as far as I know, but I've seen her around.
So her coterie formed a little after then?
Oh, you're asking a lot of questions tonight.
Sorry. Just trying to keep conversation.
No, that's fine. I just want you to understand that information has a cost as well.
give you a little bit.
You did, and I returned it in kind. And she reaches over and pushes a button on the little privacy screen that separates the back from the driver, adds a little bit of shading to it so they can't be heard or seen. And she says, information is valuable. And a pretty girl like you probably has something you can give me.
Is there anything in particular that you'd like? My blood doesn't hold any danger.
No. And when you say, is there anything in particular, there's a moment where the streetlights pass by and it puts that like anime shine to her glasses, and there's a wicked grin on her face, and the camera cuts to black. And I think we'll probably take our break here.
Break!
Break.
She's also pushing up her glasses at the time.
No, she's done that twice already. Shing shing.
It has to happen.
Yeah.
It's the rules of anime.
It's the rules of anime. But we'll take our break here, and we could probably figure out who this mysterious woman is that I had to insert because of somebody redeeming a ridiculous amount of points. But break time, everybody get up, stretch, enjoy yourselves. We'll be back shortly. Thank you, chat, for being very active today.
Woo.
Oh, camera's died. I think it's because Reese AFK'd. Alright, yeah, he turned his camera off.
God damn it, Reese.
God damn it, Reese.
So
Alright.
it'll fix itself.
Yeah, it'll fix itself. But we're going to get up, we're going to stretch. It's going to be about 5 minutes-ish, and then we'll be back to continue for the rest of this for as long as we have this game, which actually isn't going to be much longer. Probably another hour. Yeah, because we started late. Anyways, stick around. We'll be back. I'm going to mute the mic, and we're going to be back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
We just heard like, I think I counted 11 gunshots. Yeah.
Is that normal?
Yep.
It's true.
For me, yes. It sounded really close though, which was interesting. Literally, me and my friend, I was just sitting here, and then I heard boom, 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 and then I was just like, huh. And then I went downstairs and I was like, did you guys hear that? And they were like, yeah. And we were like, probably at Mother Truckers, which is a bar up the street that always gets shot up. We were just like, okay. Ooh.
Pew pew.
I've heard some gunshots at work a couple times.
See, I didn't even think they were gunshots at first because it was like boom, 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 boom. It was like so many, like one after the other. And I was just like, sounded more like a machine gun. I was like, there's no way. But I guess they just shot really fast or something. I don't know.
Oh, welcome back, Reese.
Thank you, thank you. Good to be back.
Ren wanted to say you messed up the cameras.
Oh, does it not go back on when I turn it back on?
I don't know.
It should fix itself, doesn't it? Yeah, that's what I thought. That's the only reason I turn it off, because it's just easier that way.
See, the last time I did that, I got in trouble.
Critical role extreme.
Totally wasn't the reason Ren's character died in that campaign. Promise. Whenever I run things, Ren is the only person that dies, apparently.
I mean, Ren died like twice in our game, so...
Yeah, Tomb of Annihilation doesn't like him, and neither do I, apparently.
We weren't playing Tomb of Annihilation. I forget what we were playing. It was the one with the jungle.
Tomb of Annihilation.
Is that Tomb of Annihilation?
Yeah.
The one with the death curse?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he died twice in that one.
I know that because he was also in my game at the same time when I was running Tomb of Annihilation.
Nice.
And he died in that one too. Well, he didn't die. He got turned to stone by a Medusa.
Yo, same.
Then he died. Then he actually died.
He got turned to stone in our game too.
The only Tomb of Annihilation I was in was one that Rin was running, and everyone died by another party member blowing something up.
So time out. Time out. Rin, you got turned to stone twice by that damn Medusa?
Yes.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And then he got resurrected from the petrification and died again.
It happened in Outro's game with you. Yeah, the same
right.
The same one. Mm-hmm.
That's so funny. I just think it's hysterical that it happened in Outro's game and then it happened in Ark's game.
Yeah. Yep. I think I've died. I think I died more times in Ark's game than I did in Outro's, and you know that I died quite a bit in Outro's. The fucking frost giant pasting my druid.
I think you died twice technically in my game if we're counting the petrification.
I count it.
So yeah, you were petrified, brought back, and then you were murdered by an angry tabaxi.
Yeah, fucking bag of nails.
He is a very good shot.
I executed that motherfucker.
Oh yeah, you did.
I almost killed the damn Medusa by myself. I was so close.
Yeah, but like Kay was saying, their party member actually killed them when I had it happen, because their druid wanted to be a homemade bomb maker, and so he was like, it's totally plausible for a druid to know that you could make explosives with flour, and I was like, I don't think so, but sure, let's...
I don't think that's how that works.
But yeah, he rolled and crafted a flower bomb, and he was like, I bought ball bearings, and so I combined the ball bearings with the flower, and he basically told the queen that he was going to leave her an offering, and he set it down, and he didn't tell anybody else what he was doing, and so when he did produce flame on it, it blew up with everybody in the room. And so I was like, okay, so I'm going to treat it like a little bit better than a fireball radius, and it's going to be fire and piercing damage. And everybody failed the reflex roll except for the Medusa.
Man, reflex, what the fuck? How the fuck?
That's
old
always
are
the
you?
best.
Yeah. And so everybody took just a shit ton of damage to start. Then she beat everybody on initiative, I think.
Oof.
Or,
And she has like 3 attacks or something.
yeah, and so basically she picked off everybody else. She turned Shay to stone. She ended up killing Azaka.
No, she turned Azaka to stone.
No, she turned Azaka to stone and knocked you out, right? It was the other way around, because she couldn't beat Azaka, being a were-tiger. Spoilers.
Yeah. That reminds me of, in my game, Shay had that badass moment where she crit failed the con save, then using, like, the Bless and Bardic Inspiration,
Bardic
you managed to turn it
Inspiration.
from a 6 to beating the DC.
Mm-hmm.
Turn that frown upside down.
Yeah.
Like,
But-
you were so close, just getting turned to stone instantly.
I
Oh,
still
I
think-
know if it's one of it. I know there are like those saves where if you fail by a certain amount, it just happens instantly.
I think if you failed by 5 or more.
Yeah, because the Ghost has something like that too, where like if you fail by 5 or more, then you just automatically age.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a nasty one too.
I think the
Like,
worst
this is
thing.
CR1/2. What?
I think the worst thing though is the disservice Outro did for Eku, because he killed her early off in the game Reese and I were in, and he didn't take into account any of the stuff that she actually is. Reese, I don't think you know what her deal was, but she was actually a coatl in disguise. So she
Oh,
should
Oh, that one.
she should have been infinitely more powerful than he made her.
Yeah.
And basically, like, it tells you, it's like she holds back in combat, but she basically serves as like a secondary healer because she can do some healing stuff, and only when it's absolutely necessary for her to transform, or after you do her loyalty mission that exists in the adventure, will she reveal herself as a coatl, and then she'll stay with the party for the whole time. And so
the tracker. Yeah, she did transform during our campaign, but she just got murdered.
yeah, she just got she wasn't that easy to kill.
May want to put spoilers on this.
Spoilers. I've said spoilers a few times. But anyways, oh, that's a cute cat.
Kitty,
Throw it
kitty,
in the
kitty.
chat. Anyways, we're back, and so the limo has arrived back outside of Orpheum, and the secretary kind of like rebuttons her blouse as the implied actions of gaining information, and she was fairly talkative while this was all going on, but she hands you a note with her phone number on it, and you see that it's she says, if you're going to put my contact down, you can call me Gigabit. And then she kind of leans in and she says, but you can call me Tracy.
Can we hear this conversation, or is
No.
this going on like?
No.
In
Okay.
the car.
That's outside.
I just wanted to make sure, because I was like, there's way too many. Like, there's too many jokes at this point. Like, I have to say something.
Antonio's just underneath the limo the entire time.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is.
I mean, we have learned he's a peeping Tom.
It's true. I'll rappel down from the side of the car, you know?
What are you doing here? Get out!
I mean, you were in the car the whole time.
Why do you have
Antonio.
repel gear?
But I accepted and I say, thank you, Tracy. I'll look forward to speaking with you again.
Yes, have a good evening.
You swell. And I give her a wink as I turn to leave.
And that's about the time that Antonio spots Callista stepping out of this limo. The rest of the coterie are right behind them, leaving the club.
I'll kind of wave Callista over.
Evening.
Evening. We've come up with a plan for our problem.
We probably shouldn't talk out here then.
Is everyone going their separate ways? I can fill Callista in if you need.
Crazy.
I was gonna go do some research.
I've got nothing until sunrise.
Well, you can join if you'd like. Or not.
Where are you going now?
Me?
Yeah.
To a library.
A library. Is there something we need from the library?
Again, I will fill you in if you want.
Alright.
It is a pretty long explanation that we should not do here.
Come inside then. I guess I'll
I'll
see the
follow
rest
you.
of you shortly. But I'll lead them. I'll lead them to the back of the club.
Okay.
And instantly start pouring just straight up. Just hard liquor.
Whoa, exciting evening, huh?
That's one way of putting it.
Not even a pretense.
So,
So we contacted the sheriff about our Samichi problem after filling in Maxwell. The sheriff is going to take his 2 hounds and also invited us if we are want to go and deal with the issue. Apparently, though, there are skinwalkers that are also out in that area. So we need to be prepared for both.
what's a skinwalker?
Skinwalker is a
Something
Native American folktale that has to do with a
Shape-changer.
shapeshifter.
Highlander.
They
Rin,
Yes.
so fast. There's someone in the chat that's like, want to become famous by followers, primes, and
Oh,
viewers.
I got
I'm
it.
One of those guys.
Why don't we pull them up real quick?
I do want to become famous person.
I do, just not with your help, thanks.
Yeah,
Um,
I just saw that.
I'm sorry. Does anybody else want any?
no, thank you.
Just hold it like a.
Piper
oh,
wouldn't have followed. He would have already gone to the library
Okay.
or started heading there.
So,
But I
just
think-
for a head count then, who's in the bar still?
So we
And
exited the
Olivia.
bar, and then I went back in the bar with.
Yeah, so
Callista, 'cause I
Antonio,
wanted to fill her in.
Lucian, and Olivia then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Piper separated from the party.
Sounds good. Go ahead and continue then, guys.
Did anyone want any?
No, thank you.
Alright, I drink straight from the bottle.
And she takes a large, healthy gulp.
You have had a day.
It's.
I feel like you're being overdramatic. You were being very threatened by your sire yesterday, but your punishment was not exactly a punishment.
That wasn't Wait, how do you know about that?
I was waiting. Know about what? And like looks at Callista like pointedly.
Oh, she's gonna be pissed if Sherry finds out about that.
Not gonna hear it from me.
I came to check on you to make sure she wasn't actually hurting you.
Okay. I appreciate that. She doesn't ever want to see you again.
I mean, she doesn't have to see me. I can shoot her with a sniper.
Please don't. That would go really, really bad for me. She's probably really the only thing, keeping me alive. She's not,
I mean,
she's
not doing a very good job of it, and she's not very nice to you. I can kill her and keep you alive myself.
She takes care of me. It's.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Antonio, you'd be breaking the not the masquerade, one of the traditions if you did that.
What's a tradition? I'm confused. I'm new here.
Our job.
You can't use that excuse. We went over this last week.
Did you not do the homework?
Yeah, I'm not there, but in the back of your head.
He's obviously being sarcastic.
Just tiny angry snake noises in the background.
Orlok flies over and starts pecking the back of his head.
On his way to the library, like sneezes, and is like, shit, talking about it.
I don't even sneeze. I'm not even alive.
Very true.
So that's even weirder.
Extra strange.
Miss Cassandra.
Your mask is just covered in blood now.
Miss Cassandra, she makes sure that I'm safe. It's for my own good.
One, she doesn't make sure that you are safe. Two, it's definitely not for your own good. It's because she can. And three, she thinks she's way more powerful than she actually is because she's not powerful when somebody shoots her in the fucking head.
Again, please don't do that.
I'm not saying I'm
Probably.
going to. I'm just explaining the situation.
Honestly, you might not kill her even then.
Well, I mean, there are many
take
ways
a bullet
to
or two.
skin a cat.
That's what blood sucking does.
Diablerie.
Also,
Not
the bullet
Maurice.
doesn't necessarily have to do the killing, Liv.
What?
Bullets can be incapacitating as well.
Right. Well, I was thinking we probably shouldn't use Orpheum as a meeting place going forward.
Has anyone ever thought about what happens if a thin blood diabolizes? I think that would be an interesting experiment.
What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it. And pat you on the head.
You'll find out when you're older.
Yeah, we'll tell you when you're older. It's fine.
Alright, seriously though, I think we should start meeting somewhere else.
That is fine. I can buy
My
us somewhere.
place is a little hard to get to.
I can just buy us a place to eat.
Sure.
Alright, money bags.
That'd be actually out of character. That would be really cool too, because we could use the coterie perks on it.
You buy Orpheum.
Yeah, it's like I actually was going to, but I don't think I can. I might get lawyers involved, but I feel like Callista would get pissed off.
So tell me about your plan.
So as of right now, we informed Maxwell, who gave us the information, or gave our information to the sheriff who came and saw us. We gave the sheriff the information that we had, and he is going to take care of the problem. Like I said, he said we can either go or not go. It seems like we are going based on what everyone was saying.
Well, this sounds like it's the enforcer part of the job.
I mean, it certainly is the enforcer part of the job, but I believe the coterie as a whole is supposed to go. At least that was my understanding. Don't worry about it too much. I'll protect you. It's not that big a deal.
I can't fight.
That's fine.
We have a week to train you.
I'm
Moneybags gave us daggers, and I'll hold up 2 daggers.
That's very lovely.
The engraving on them are really nice.
Those are actually legit pretty lovely.
They're mine now.
But I'm not as resilient as all of you.
I mean, you don't have to be. You don't have to be on the front lines. If you really want, I don't think it would be too much of a problem for you to stay home, but I feel like we should do it as a team.
I mean, I'll go, but I'm not walking into danger.
I didn't expect you to. Everyone has their talents. You don't need to stab anyone, I promise.
The other thing too is I'm fairly well known in the city.
I mean, we're going outside the
It's
city.
harder for me to lay low.
We are going outside the city, so no one there will
That's
know.
fair.
You worry way too much. If you weren't dead, you would give yourself an ulcer.
I think I
Is she
worry
actually
just
dead?
enough.
That's a good point. I don't know. Can you give yourself an ulcer?
I mean, my heart beats slowly.
I mean, more particularly, does your digestion work? I mean, I guess since you can eat and drink, it does, yeah? But if she did get an ulcer, could she heal it? I mean, they heal, right? Just not as quick.
I have noticed that I do heal faster, yes.
So maybe that's why you don't have an ulcer yet.
Yes.
I just take another drink right from
Might
the
get a
bottle.
kidney stone soon, though.
So, a week, you said.
Yep.
Do you have any, like, fashionable armor on you? Like, something some kind of, like, bulletproof, claw-proof?
Fashionable.
I mean,
It is important
I
to
can
have
definitely
fashion.
get you a bulletproof bra, but that's more fetish wear than anything actually that's going to protect you.
You know what, it'll work.
There are some vests that you can wear that are very concealable. They are very shaped to your body and easily concealable. So you can wear fashionable clothes over your unfashionable vest.
I can work with that.
I mean, I'm going in full spectrum just because I'd rather be alive than pretty.
Well, you're never the second one.
It's true.
Dang, shots fired.
What else do we need? This is kind of out of my field of expertise. I talk to people and dance.
So totally cutting Callista off, he winks at Liv and he's like, not everyone can be as hot as you, Liv. I'm sorry, I couldn't let that one go. What were you saying?
You'll want something to defend yourself.
Like a bulletproof vest?
Like a
I
weapon.
think they mean the weapon.
Knife, gun.
Never.
No, she's going to want the gun. She's going to need to keep her distance. I'll make sure she gets something with impact, though.
Can it also
I'm not worried so much about the damage as the stopping power, if that makes sense. Maybe a shotgun.
I was going to suggest that, actually.
That, can it be a fashionable shotgun?
How are
What
you
does
with
that
bow?
mean?
You're an expensive date, you know that? I mean, I can get you a
Gestured to
fashionable
my
shotgun.
I can get you a nice longbow.
I gave them silver knives and they were happy.
Well, those are
You
really
have
nice
that
looking
with some
knives.
silver-tipped arrows, and
I will get you a pretty shotgun, I promise.
Get her the diamond encrusted shotgun, yeah.
Right.
is this making your night that you just had looking better?
I'm sorry to say that it is.
That's what we're here for, darling.
There you go, Shay. I got a picture in the chat for you.
Alright, I gotta take a look at it.
Oh no.
Oh my god. It looks like a Fortnite weapon.
It does.
It does.
I mean, yes, that's an actual nice shotgun, Ark.
Yeah.
I was being
I know
a
you
jerk.
were going. I know you were going for the jokes.
Yes, yes. But yes, it would probably be something closer to what you posted.
So I think it will be a little appropriate for maybe Olivia and I'm gonna get Cadence to make their first roll of the night. Lucian to make intelligence etiquette rolls for me. Antonio is not going to make this one because you have not been around long enough to know this information I'm going to give.
Makes
All right,
sense.
straight up intelligence.
Just intelligence?
1.
I keep forgetting
I don't know, Rin. Etiquette is like Antonio's #1 stat.
Oh, I know it is. Yeah.
He's not our gun guy. He's our etiquette guy.
He's
That's
the
why
face.
he, tried to start
Excellent
beef
with
with
the
Callista's
etiquette.
sire.
Yeah.
So etiquette and intelligence. Wait, come on, you can do it.
See, I know Nosferatu etiquette, not normal etiquette.
No, it's fine.
Hey, nice.
So this wasn't a very hard target number, but it would just be like the maybe being able to break it down for Antonio. You guys know that while Callista is a thin blood, her sire is a Toreador, and the Toreador nature is bleeding through, and it's why she's being so insistent. It might be kind of like some of the flaw is riding through with Callista, even if it's not an overriding thing. Her Toreador is showing, and it might help Antonio if you explain that to him.
I could,
Oh,
but
yay.
it's also fun to watch this.
No, I'm just passing some information along so I have something to do as well.
So yes, I will get you a fancy shotgun.
Okay.
And fancy
Are you
ammunition.
particular? Well, yeah, that's easy enough. In fact, it's easier to make shotgun rounds into something that we could be useful against the skinwalkers.
Does that
Um,
include that depleted uranium?
Oh no, that is specialty.
Oh shit! I found what you're getting for Callista, Antonio.
No, I was going to make buckshot silver. That should work perfectly.
Get her this.
Oh yeah.
That thing is beautiful.
Oh, nice.
Easier to conceal, too.
Yeah, for sure.
Just go full Angelina Jolie from Wanted. Like, we'll cover your body in tattoos that like lead it into the gun, and that way it'll be like camouflage. Nobody will even see it.
Yeah, that's definitely how that works, Angelina.
Definitely.
Side note, that movie's fucking awesome. I love Wanted.
Alright, there's not much time left tonight, so why don't we square away our plans and then we will put a pin in it for next week. Oh, I know what we can do to close this out. You guys pretty much have everything in the bag, but I do need something from Antonio. Your depleted uranium crafting rolls.
Yay!
So please make me a... I want this to be relatively good for you. It would be a dexterity crafting. Manage your hand-eye coordination of shaping these depleted rounds.
And I'm going to re-roll
Yeah.
with my willpowers.
And I'm gonna just double check.
Hmm.
Not a critical, but it's 3 successes.
And I will one more.
Absolutely.
There
Okay,
you go.
Great. I'm just gonna check the craft.
Might as well spend it because
Yeah,
you
you got
we
it.
have a week in between.
You have the time to spend to make sure that it's good. So let's see here. Physical skills. I just want to see what I need for crafting. One dot means you're an amateur, but you know what you're doing. Oh, there you go. Specialization, which will be fine. When you take this skill, you get a free specialty, unlike most skills. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, so it doesn't actually give me any information to give you based on your crafting checks. I guess it just means you.
It's really up to you.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. Well, usually, like, why I like the rule set for like Tales from the Loop and stuff, where it's like it gives conditional effects if you get more successes than a target number, and that's what I was kind of looking for. But I guess with 5 successes, what kind of gun are you making it for?
I was gonna make it for the. Let me find my.
His old musket.
Oh yeah, no. My. Not my carriage gun that holds my dragon's breath.
You have dragon's breath rounds?
Yes. With tungsten barrels so it won't melt them. I come equipped, yo. I sent Rin an entire list of shit that I come with.
I do have an extensive list of things. His finance score is, or his resources is up the ass.
A Bushmaster ACR-3 assault rifle. So that's
okay, so it's a rifle. You are able to crank out. I know I'm gonna hate doing this, but you made a 5 success. You're able to crank out about 200 rounds, given buying material. Yeah, and it's like, it sounds like a lot, but it is a rifle, so you're gonna burn.
Yeah, with an assault rifle, it's gonna go quick.
The reservation is gonna glow with that uranium.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's a tank buster.
Shoot, I don't have to worry about radiation poisoning.
Yeah, and I mean, it's gonna remove limbs. It may not kill anything, but it's gonna slow it down.
So the thing is, I use the depleted uranium for the piercing portion, and then the silver, once it goes into them, is what actually hurts them.
You open them up.
Yeah. So like that's basically why the uranium is basically for the impact to punch through, and then the silver is what actually damages them.
Yeah, it's some good stuff. All right, but we'll wrap it up here. I got a crazy idea. Yep, 200 depleted uranium rounds. I have a...
Sounds good. I shot you a message so that we remember for next time.
That's what I saw, and that's why I repeated it back. It's like, yes, we will commit that to memory and have it on file. So that's there. This will be where we wrap up then. Next week, we'll jump ahead a little bit of time. First thing we'll do is cover Viper's research, because they went off to go do their checking with good old Hugo, or Huge Q, as they call him.
Huge Q.
By the way, that is officially his nickname now.
Yeah, no, like, Viper can call him Huge Q as much as he wants. Wink. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you all of the viewers who came in. We had a really huge turnout today, much nicer than normal for us. Thank you people who were in chat being active and wonderful. Thank you to Giggles Games for redeeming an NPC who was incredibly thirsty inside of a limousine. But I know I did that character proud. This has been PartyWipeGames, Blood of the Phoenix, a Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition game. Stick around. I might kill at least Antonio so that he can make a Salubri or a Ravnos.
Hey,
or maybe
that sounds fine to me.
But that book isn't out yet.
Just wipe us. We can make all new characters using the new stuff.
Listen, not gonna lie, Ark. When we get back to yours, I might actually change some stuff because there's a lot of books that'll be coming out by time you know, you get back in the seat of running this.
Yeah.
It could be fun. I kind of want to see how they let the Salubri back in. Anyways, let's see who might be on right now. Is there anybody that we can send all of these lovelies over to? Channels. Gotta mute it before Twitch bees loud. Oh, well, we've got a couple people. Oh, I know who we'll go to. We'll go over to Laugh Love Lindy, a wonderful person who was playing Octung Cthulhu with me earlier today. It was the first time I got to play with her, and she's fantastic. They're playing Curse of Strahd, so that'll be pretty cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, everybody go hang out with them, give them some love, say hi, and we'll
From
see
vampires to vampires.
Vampires to vampires. It's perfect. That's immediately why I thought it was a good choice. Also, they're great people, so give them a follow, give them love, and we'll see you guys Thursday, where we'll be playing some Scum and Villainy. We'll see you later.
Also, sorry for being late.
Your work. It's work.
You're
Don't
good.
worry about it, man. Have a great night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.